Greetings! I'm Dahlia, Deacon of the Church of Favonius and Herald of Barbados. As you can probably tell, I'm going out of my mind with boredom right now. So, what's going on in your life? Any issues you're facing? I'm here to listen. And probably to laugh a little. but also to help. Do you hear that? There's a voice whispering on the wind. It says, some guy just took a stone to the head. I'm bored. I'm not looking for trouble exactly, but I kinda hope we run into someone else who is. Come on, let's go find some drama. Where the wind blows, the rain soon follows. Believe me, I have it on good authority. I heard that lightning is how one of the other archons delivers their prophetic words. Not that I'm biased or anything, but Barbados definitely has a softer touch. The wind is blowing. Let us pray. Good morning, my friend. I just got back from morning prayers, and I'm feeling very blessed. My questions to Barbados were answered once again. Oh, and I said a prayer for you too, of course. Afternoon. You want to go hang out in the tavern for a bit? No sane person gets drunk at this hour, of course. But that's why it's the best time to go. There's a higher chance of seeing some really colorful characters. Good evening. Care to join me up on the city wall to enjoy the breeze? Huh? Why the wall, you say? Because of the amazing view, of course. Lord Barbados is communing with me on the evening wind. He sends you a solemn message. It's getting late. You should hit the hay. My main role as deacon in the Church of Favonius is to support the prayer ceremonies. But since I have a natural talent for it, I've also wound up being the one responsible for hearing the will of Barbados and communicating his revelations. In that sense, I'm kind of the Animo Archon's representative in the church. On top of that, believe it or not, I'm also the cantor in the church choir. Whenever the people of Mondstadt face great hardship, they pray to the Animo Archon for guidance. Then, Sister Victoria steps in and invites me to lead the church in morning prayers. Reason being, I always seem to get answers from Barbados whenever I ask him a question. Why me? Who knows? Maybe I'm just the kind of guy that gods like talking to. So I hear that wherever you travel to, you end up getting dragged into some huge drama. Then there's me, great at creating drama, but also great at resolving it. That ought to make us a great pair, don't you think? It occurred to me recently that your role as honorary knight of Favonius and mine as deacon in the church are similar in a lot of ways, you know what I mean? Both are mostly ceremonial, both sound like pretty easygoing jobs, yet we both find ourselves dealing with people's most deeply rooted troubles, helping them cast their burdens to the wind with the aid of the Animo Archon. Ah, what noble people we are. I dedicate this apple cider to us. I always assumed I'd get an Animo vision, so this was a fun surprise. I guess Barbados doesn't see me as a lost soul who needs his constant attention. Here's a thought. Turning Deaconess Barbara into an idol was a genius marketing move for the church. She probably wasn't in on it, and I doubt this was Alice's original goal. But regardless, the result is that Mondstadt loves Barbara, and everyone's more motivated to come to church nowadays. It is said that after we die, sons and daughters of the Animo Archon turn into dandelions. Rooted in the ground, our restless spirits yearn for freedom. And so we leap into the air wherever a breeze blows by, hoping to ride the wind into the sky. For those who don't make it far on their journey, they hope to get turned into the strongest dandelion wine, bringing bold change to boring lives through the power of drunkenness. Oh, to be reborn as a dandelion. By the grace of the Animo Archon, may that happen to me one day. Venti is a dear friend. Whenever I'm seeking to know the will of the Animo Archon, he's always more than happy to clear things up for me. And when he needs something done but can't attend to it personally, I'll handle it on his behalf. So yeah, overall, I'd say we have a very positive working relationship. Master Jean is probably the person I'm most familiar with in the Knights of Favonius. I guess that's because whenever there's trouble, she's always there to clean things up. We have very different approaches to problem solving, though. I never shy away from offering my suggestions, but she tends to stick to her own way of doing things. Barbara is a fellow member of the clergy and also a friend. She's always there to support me when I need help. In return, I always make sure to look out for ways she can help me. I try to involve her as often as I can. Weird way to show appreciation? I don't think so. Barbara's at her happiest when she's helping other people. And if she's happy, shouldn't we be happy for her? Rosaria and I are very close friends, so I'm used to her habitual absences from church. But she was extremely closed off back when we first met. Wouldn't open up to me about her secrets. Eventually, though, I found a way to catch her in the act every time she went missing. And that persuaded her to reach a mutually beneficial agreement with me. Kaya is my top drinking buddy. Sometimes I need to negotiate a 1-month all-you-can-drink deal at the tavern for Venti. And I couldn't do it without Kaya's haggling skills. Trouble is, he knows it, and he's always using it to get free drinks out of me. But alas, that is the price I must pay for being the Herald of Barbados, the one trusted to guide the flock. And on that note, here's to the Animo Archon! Cheers! D-Luke is a special breed of tavern owner. He's the only one who can't be won over by Kaya's smooth-talking, meaning I can never haggle the price down with him. Apart from that, I don't know much about former cavalry Captain D-Luke beyond what's in the record room. Actually, you probably know him far better than I do, right? Well, how about we head to the Angel's Share and you give me the scoop? Ah, Klee. She ran into me once when I was in the middle of practicing my surprise baptism technique on a hydro slime. Boy, did she love that. She thought it would be a great way to send Jumpy Dumpty flying even higher. We ended up hanging out for days after that, and had loads of fun seeing how high we could bounce slimes and Jumpy Dumpty. Until we blew up part of the city wall. We got spotted by the guard Lawrence, and he reported us to Master Jean. Now she's banned me from using surprise baptism on Jumpy Dumpty. Sad times. I prefer being out among the people to sitting around in the cathedral. The bigger the crowd, the better. Of course, sitting and listening to people talk about their problems is my duty as deacon. And I do love it. But not everyone has the courage to bare their soul to another person. So sometimes I have to strike first. What's that girl on the bench sighing about all day? And why does that guy by the city wall always have a frown on his face? I'm always drawn in by these kind of things. I want to know what's going on in people's lives. For the most part, helping people with their issues is something I do because I enjoy it. Most people hate dealing with the messy side of life, but that's because they don't see the fun in it. Here's an example. Imagine two young people have a crush on each other, and both are too shy to tell the other how they feel, for fear it's not reciprocal. Maybe it's been that way for a long time. With just a little pre-planning, I can arrange it so that they just so happen to find themselves sitting next to each other during a choir performance. Both try to steal a glance at the other. They lock eyes and start blushing. Moments like that are a huge part of the reason why I became a deacon. I bet you're dying to know how I became the Animo Archon's favorite. It was actually pretty easy. All you gotta do is know Mondstadt's taverns, look out for a certain special customer, and buy him a drink on the regular. Don't look so shocked. It's okay. Yes, I too know the Animo Archon's secret identity, but I've never told anyone. The great Lord Barbados successfully convinced me that keeping his secret would be the more fun choice. I love being a deacon, but I will admit that like any job, it can be a pain at times. The hardest part for me is figuring out how to communicate the Archon's will. Whenever there's a major crisis, Barbados' guidance is usually pretty concise and intuitive. But I have to find ways of adding in some sacred-sounding rhetoric so it comes across as more convincing and inspires people to action. Like this. Verily, the returning wind shall carry the dew of the heavens. O children of the Animo Archon, have your seeds not been sown? Then be patient, and from the land where you have toiled shall spring forth blessings from on high. All that really means is, get planning, because it's gonna rain soon. But obviously the former sounds much more like the sacred words of an oracle, right? So every time I seek advice from Barbados, I end up spending ages thinking about how to rephrase it before I can finally announce it. Don't tell anyone this, but I've always dreamed of leaving Mondstadt, adventuring somewhere beyond the reaches of the wind, and getting caught up in some huge drama. You know, like you do. But then with so many lost souls needing guidance from the Animo Archon, I can't in good conscience just abandon them, can I? I guess I just need to savor the fun aspects of life right here more often. The musical tones of the wind, the air bubbles and fine brews, and all the amazing stories you have to share. I like getting Barbados to put me in new and exciting situations where I meet new people. And I don't mind if it's some crazy drama that I end up needing to sort out. The sad fact is, the majority of life is just a repeat of the same old daily cycle. So the spice scale goes from mild to hot to extra hot. But then there's off the charts insanely hot. Now that to me is the pinnacle of flavor. You just can't beat it. Bread, plain rice congee, they're just bland stomach fillers. I say if you're gonna go that route, why not eat tree bark? At least some trees have a nice scent. Thank you for your offering. May Lord Barbados bless you. A meal like this is best paired with a glass of dandelion wine. My treat. You in? Thank you for your offering. I will remember you in my morning prayers. I do apologize, but long ago I received a prophetic word from the Animo Archon. Long story short, as the deacon of the Church of Favonius, it's forbidden for me to consume this kind of food. May this fertile land bless me with a bountiful harvest of grains, to brew into fine wine for my guest. May the returning wind bless me with blossoms, to rain down in celebration of this gathering here today. May our God bless this day of my dear friend's birth, and watch over him, I pray. Okay, you want to blow the candles out now? I have been rewarded for my faithfulness, but I will continue to pray, because our God is still watching us. When a fresh breeze wafts through a crowd, it carries with it impressions of the people. From the bright-eyed innocence of children to the sad sighs of the middle-aged, the wind carries it all. Do you feel it? Can you sense the stories in the wind? Now go and tread the path that is yours to tread. A bell rings out somewhere in the great outdoors. That too is a message from our Lord, calling you forth on your journey. Hear our prayers, O Lord. Let the wind lead.